Got a first draft idea? Ooh, here's a melody, here's some cool patches. This is the drum pattern and the subs that work. Here's a basic idea of arrangement. Bounce, forget it exists. Step away from it. Go make more timer beats. Do anything else with your life. Yeah, and I would feel remiss if I didn't add. There is an add-on to the Dojo that anybody can get. It's called Unlimited Track Feedback. And that, more than anything, was my single biggest upgrade, like, to my personal music making. Just changing, like I said, changing from trying to finish a track and then show it to somebody to just merely getting the idea of my first draft out, hitting bounce, sending it into a sensei, forgetting it exists for 5 days, and then coming back to it after I've had that feedback sitting in my inbox a couple of days and be like, okay, now I'm going to spend a few hours, I'm going to watch the weekly downloads that were recommended, I'm going to go through this checklist, just do the checklist, maybe fix a couple of things I had in mind, bounce it again, send it back to that same sensei. Like, stop, sitting in your own head for so long at one time. Got a first draft idea? Ooh, here's a melody, here's some cool patches. This is the drum pattern and the subs that work. Here's a basic idea of arrangement. Bounce, forget it exists. Step away from it. Go make more timer beats. Do anything else with your life. Come back. So I'm dropping this in the chat. It'll be for the people in the future time. Listening to this at some other time. We'll put it in the show notes as well. But get that track feedback, especially if you're at a point where you're doing at least, like, if you're doing 4 drafts a month, just 1 bounce a week, it is more than worth it. It's just $20 for unlimited, and if you're doing any more than that, it keeps getting more worth it the more you utilize it. So that was the biggest thing possibly for me remixing my life. Like, the monthly sensei sessions are so key, getting a full hour to ask questions and get high detail shown for how to do things, but being able to drop any draft at any moment, whether it's 3 a.m. or 9 in the morning, just being able to be, okay, I'm done with this for now, and it's going to somebody with better ears than me, with a new perspective. And then let it go until I come back with that new perspective on it.
Totally. Make breakthroughs on the side while somebody else gives you breakthroughs. That's like, level up so fast doing that. Also, on that note, I want to talk, because I've been watching the chat here, and Katie mentioned, blocking out a day a month and coming out with like 5 tracks. And I see OGK in the chat here, who mentioned he tried doing his first timer beat and it didn't go so well. And what I want to say is, I think a big part of that process too is just the perspective shift that has to happen, like joining the community and realizing like how other people are working. You realize that like 5 tracks a day isn't a lot. And for the people that have taken sessions with me, like, we've talked about like 3 to 5 tracks a day is kind of the norm. Because if you're playing off that Pareto principle, that 80-20 rule, that's like 1 out of every 5 tracks are good. So you got to like set aside a day to get 5 ideas and then work on the best one. And that's how you get that quality you want. But it isn't until you actually gain that perspective and see how other people are working that you even realize like 1 a day is possible. 2, 3, 4, 5 a day is possible.
Yeah.
Now, obviously don't rush, but like, that is going to level you up, like realizing like I can create a framework for myself. And man, and just to bring it real quick to what we were talking about earlier, we should just start weeding out the term templates. Palettes all day.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, templates definitely have a weird connotation with them. I mean, I still call it a mixing template because, it is. But I feel you, for any of the like the creative parts, it's much more of a palette than a template anyways. I'm not boxing myself in any way. I'm just saving myself a ton of time of looking for drum samples and shit. Like, I know I'm going to need drums. I know I'm going to need subs. I know I'm going to need spices. I know I'm going to need, and maybe there's a synth you really like to use. Maybe it's Serum. Just put 2 serums in there, even if they're on the initial patch, just so all you have to do is open that window and pick a patch and start writing. Or write in the initialized patch and then audition shit. And then you can do the loop menu or preset shredding really fast. You know, if you always like doing some mud pies, maybe just set up that resample track already so that you can just hit record and go and do the resample that you're looking for without having to take the time to do that legwork to get to the place to do what you always do anyways. Everything's about saving yourself time. And you just reminded me of a story that was a big moment for me. It was actually like 2 weeks before I joined the dojo, before I found out that Ill Gates had an awesome school. I was in Atlanta for a beat battle, and I re-met a couple of the bigger producers. They had like come in second in that beat battle years before the first time I went, and I re-met them down there because they were like a featured act, and they invited me and my buddy Smart Boy to come over to their studio, and they were showing us kind of their process and how they make beats and how they work. And he's like, let me ask you guys a question. You know, in a day of sitting down to make beats, how many beats on average do you think you could make? And we were both looking at each other like, I mean, if it's a good day, I will make all of one. And more often than that, less than that. You know, like we'll make part of one and maybe I'll start a couple, but I won't finish them and not like them. Or, you know, but if it's a good day, I'll like get all the way through one. He's like, all right, dope. No, that's a good place to start. Not to brag, me and my partner sit down. Every day we sit down to make beats, we make 5 to 8. That's our average. Not to brag, to say that if we can do it, you can learn how to do it. And that's what your competition is doing. They have learned to work faster and make more, and then the cream will rise to the top. And that really hit me like, oh, I can work faster. I have an imaginary ceiling to my speed and this imaginary idea that the more time I spend working on something, the better it gets. And that if I rush, it won't be as good. I have learned then, you know, it was fortuitous that 2 weeks later I showed up at the dojo and started to learn about separating my time, learned that timer beats and palettes were even a thing. You know, I would like get an idea and be like, oh, this is the amazing God-given beat idea I have in my head, and it's got to sound just like this or I'm doing it wrong. Then I would open up my unorganized library. Then I would start down looking, no, that's not the patch, that's not the patch, that's not the patch. And then before I know it, 45 minutes have gone by. I barely remember what my amazing idea sounded like. And I would run out of steam and I would close the DAW sad. And now I'm just like, a melody, palette, melody down, bunch of different patches to run it through. I can literally just take that melody and move it down to the next lane and be like, nope, 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 nope. Ooh, moving on. Drums, drum beat, boom, clack, boom, 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 clack. Not that kick, not that kick, ooh, that kick. Not that snare, not that snare, ooh, that snare. Moving on. Hi-hats, you know, like, learn to give yourself ways to move faster, because that's really what counts the most. Like we've been talking about, even if you finish all these beats, not all of them are going to be the ones you want to release. Not all of them are going to turn into full songs, and that's fine. That's normal. I learned from another guy, he's a hit songwriter named Daryl Brown, who does the track feedback sections of the ASCAP Expo. And he said, you'll have a life event. You'll fall in love, you'll break up, you'll have a kid, somebody you'll die. Something big will happen in your life. You'll have a really good summer, and you want to write a bunch of really good, happy summer songs. Whatever it is, you'll have a life event, and you'll write a batch of songs. Let's call it 20 songs. 2 or 3 of them will be good songs that are actually up to your standards. But there is literally no way to get those 2 songs without writing the 20 songs. So learn to write faster so you can get all 20 songs out and pick which 2 get released. I like it. What's up, humans? Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. I just want to remind you, if you want to learn how to produce faster, you're going to want to sign up to Remix Your Life at the Producer Dojo. Click the link in the description, sign up for the Producer Dojo membership, and remix your life today. It worked on me. It'll work on you. Peace, and peace among worlds.